Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video. Today we're trying out the Hog Mini Pekka Zap combo. One of the great things with this deck, guys, is it has a fairly low average elixir cost at only 3.3, while also having fairly high damage output. The Mini Pekka, the Hog Rider, and the Minion Horde all have high damage output. So anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at some replays here, and then at the end I'm going to try and fit in one live battle, guys. So here we go, guys, with the first replay. This was against another level 8 who is also using the Hog Rider Zap strategy, which is an extremely popular strategy recently, guys. About 60% of my battles, I would say, are against people using the Hog Rider with the Zap spell. But the reason I wanted to show you this battle here was we did a fairly decent job controlling the battle here. He tries to go in with the left-hand side with the Ice Wizard, so we're going to try and be sneaky here on the right-hand lane with some Spear Goblins as well as a Hog Rider. We are actually able to get a decent amount of damage done to his tower, but unfortunately our Zap spell missed one of the goblins, forcing our Hog Rider to lose out on one or two hits here. And now on the left hand side he's got an Ice Wizard as well as some minions coming in. We're going to use some goblins behind the Ice Wizard, not only to kill him, but also distract the minions and pull them back away from our tower. And pretty much he got no damage done to our tower there. So overall things are looking pretty good. His right hand tower is all the way down to 1200 health at this point in the battle, all from that one push at the beginning of the battle here. Now right here, he's going to go in with the Hog Rider. His Hog Rider is one level higher than mine, which does make a little bit of a difference in the battle, guys, because it basically means that his Hog Rider will get about one more hit than my Hog Rider, and each of its hits will do about 30 more damage or so. So overall, with one Hog Rider push, a level higher will mean about 200 more damage with the Hog Rider. But right here, both of us are going to kind of sit tight, start building up some more elixir. I usually like to wait till I'm about 10 elixir before I make a play. Now right here, he's got some minions coming in from the back. We're going to go in with a super aggressive Baby Dragon, Hog Rider, and Goblin push. Now one of the great things with this deck, guys, is it's extremely flexible. There's a ton of different offensive strategies you can use with it. You're not stuck to just using the Hog Rider. You can use the Hog Rider with Spear Goblins, you can use the Baby Dragon with some Spear Goblins, or you can use the Hog Rider with the Mini Pekka, as you'll see later on in the battle, or you can even use the Minion Horde as well as the Mini Pekka, which is actually a pretty cool strategy because the Minion Horde actually hides the Mini Pekka pretty well because they both kind of blend in. So you can kind of be sneaky, and somebody will think that you just have the Minion Horde and then you use arrows, and you actually have the Mini Pekka underneath it. So right here, his tower is all the way down to 200 health. We're going to start being super aggressive on that right-hand lane, because I know he's going to try and defend it pretty well. So here we go with the Baby Dragon as well as the Minion Horde. They're going to go in there. We're going to try and do a counter push on the left-hand lane because he's invested a ton of elixir on the right-hand lane. But watch this. He's forced to use the free spell to stop my Hog Rider and my Mini Pekka, which is pretty cool because even though we don't get any damage done to his tower here, we're forcing him to spend elixir on spells defensively, which pretty much prevents him from doing any kind of offensive pushes. And right here we got a Mini Pekka once again taking out that Ice Wizard. His cannon just went down, so we're going to be super aggressive with another Hog Rider Mini Pekka push. And once again he's forced to use that free spell, which is 4 elixir spent just defending, which like I said means he won't be having any elixir to do offensive pushes. And now we're into overtime. All we need is to go in on that right hand tower and take it out. We could use a couple of Zap spells to take it out, but unfortunately I don't really want to do that. I want to go in with the Hog Rider. So right here, watch what happens here. We're going to do the Mini Horde with the Mini Pekka strategy that I talked about. Super aggressive, and it's also extremely powerful. He's forced to use the free spell once again, but we're going to keep pumping out some troops. We go in with the Hog Rider and some Goblins, and watch this, guys, we are able to take the right-hand tower down for a 1-crown victory. So let's go ahead to another replay, guys. So here are, guys, with the next replay. This time we're against a level 9, and he was also using the Hog Rider Zap strategy. Now, as you'll see throughout this replay, things don't really work our way until really at the end, which is pretty interesting because the Hog Rider Mini Pekka strategy only needs a couple of seconds on a tower to take it out, as you'll see later on in the battle. But right here, he's going to go in with some Barbarians. We do have that Baby Dragon, which is a pretty good counter to the Barbs. Now, unfortunately, the Barbs are actually a great counter against the Hog Rider and the Mini Pekka. The Mini Pekka just gets distracted way too easily, and the Hog Rider doesn't have a ton of health. So right here, we're really just focused on defending. We do have that cannon down, which will distract that Hog Rider, and once those wizards get in range, we're going to go ahead with the Baby Dragon to distract both of those wizards. Now that was a pretty successful defense right there. We didn't take too much damage to our tower there, and we are fairly even on elixir. Now, one of the great things with this deck, guys, is because of the low elixir cost, you are able to cycle through your cards pretty quickly. As you'll see later on in the battle, we are able to continuously cycle through our cards and get back to that cannon when we need it. Now right here, we're going to try and play aggressively with the Hog Rider, but unfortunately it was a huge mistake because, like I said, the barbs are a great counter against the Hog Rider. So now we've got a pretty strong push to worry about here. We're going to use the minion horde to pretty much take out the entire push, because I am pretty sure at this point in the battle that he was low in elixir. So even if he did have a spell to take care of those minions, by the time he had enough elixir to do so, his entire push was pretty much destroyed. So at this point, both of us just gonna kind of wait a second, start building up that elixir. It's really never smart, guys, to play yourself always down to 0 elixir. You want to build up to about 7, 8, 9, or 10 elixir before you start making pushes. So right here, he drops down the wizard way in the back. We're gonna go in with our baby dragon in the back of our tower. We're going to support that baby dragon with a mini Pekka here, and what I was trying to do here, guys, in this battle is I was trying to bait out the barbarians so I can go in on the opposite side with the Hog Rider, but unfortunately he has that cannon, which pretty much distracts that entire push there, because the Ice Wizard was also supporting that cannon. Now right here, I made a huge mistake. I played the cannon a little bit too far to the right, so his Hog Rider is able to go in there and get a pretty decent amount of damage done to my left-hand tower. All the way from full health down to 1300 health with that one push. Now right there, we tried to be aggressive with the counter push with the Hog Rider, but unfortunately, he had his cannon out once again. Now this time, he's going to try and go in with that Hog Rider, but we are able to get back to our cannon, because like I said earlier in the replay, because of that low elixir cost, we are able to cycle through our cards pretty quickly. And now that we're going into overtime here, he's going to start trying to just use the Fireball to finish off our tower. Now once again, he used the barbs on the left-hand side, so we're going to try and go in on the right-hand side with the Hog Rider as well as the Mini Pekka, but unfortunately, our troops are just a little bit low level. Our Mini Pekka is only level 5. They're going to die pretty quickly, but the Baby Dragon will get a couple hits off on that tower, bringing it all the way down to 1800 health. Now things still really aren't looking too good. Our tower is all the way down to 700 health. His tower is at 1800 health. We're going to try and do a split push here, but unfortunately, it's just not going to work. The Ice Wizard is a perfect counter for the Mini Pekka, and the Barbs are a great counter for the Hog Rider. And once again, he's going to try and go in with a Hog Rider combo. We're going to use that cannon to take out that Hog Rider pretty quickly, and there he goes again with that Fireball, slowly taking health away from our tower. We're all the way down to 500 health here on that tower, but watch what happens here, guys. Like I said, the Mini Pekka Hog Rider strategy only needs a couple of seconds to take out a tower, so with 7 seconds left in the battle, we are able to go in there and take out that tower for a 1 crown victory, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at another replay here. So here we are, guys, with the next replay. This time we're facing a level 9 who is using a mortar deck, and as you'll see in a little bit, I got really frustrated facing this mortar user. But right here, right at the start, he's going to go in with some goblins, and in the battle here, guys, I kind of had some suspicions at the start of the battle that he was a mortar user, just the way he was cycling through his cards and setting up that Tesla for defense. So Baby Dragon is going to make his way in there and get some damage done to that Tesla. We're going to drop some goblins way in the back there, wait for them to make their way up to the bridge, and then we're going to support them with a Hog Rider to tank the Tesla fire. Now, unfortunately, he does have the Barbarians in his deck, which, like I said a lot, is a pretty good counter for the Hog Rider. And also, unfortunately, because he used those Barbarians on defense, they're going to be able to walk in front of that mortar and support it and defend it from my cannon fire. So right here, guys, we fail miserably at taking out that mortar. And right here, as you'll see, we are super annoyed. There's just something about watching a mortar attack your defenseless tower, guys, that's just really annoying. But it's a card in the game, and I failed at defending it, so that's my fault for why the mortar is attacking that tower there. But as you'll see later in the battle, we do kind of learn from our mistakes and we adjust our playstyle a little bit. So right here, goblins coming in. We're going to use the Baby Dragon to take out those goblins. I do drop down some of my goblins on my own. I just don't want them getting any more damage to my tower, because sometimes when you're facing somebody using a mortar deck, guys, they also have the rocket, and they'll just basically do chip damage over time and then finish you off with a rocket. So right here, we are able to get a couple of hits off on that tower, but watch what happens right here, guys. He drops the mortar, I use my cannon, but unfortunately, my finger must have slipped or something. I dropped the cannon just slightly out of range of that mortar, so the cannon doesn't actually shoot that mortar at all. It just kind of tanks the first couple of shots, and once again, that mortar does get a couple hits off on my tower, bringing it all the way down to 800 health. So things aren't really looking too good at this point, guys. But we're going to start being super aggressive here and just overall prevent him from setting up the mortar, because he is really focusing on that right-hand tower. So here we go, we drop the Mini Pekka way in the back. We're going to use some goblins as well up front. And then this time we actually get the cannon in the right placement, and the cannon is able to target that mortar. Now unfortunately, the Mini Pekka kind of died by those minions. He was able to go in and get one hit off on that mortar though, so that's pretty cool. And right here, he's got the bomber walking up. We're going to use the baby dragon as well as some goblins to hopefully take out that Tesla. And once again, he has that mortar down. This time, like I said, we're able to get that the cannon, in the proper placement. The Mini Pekka is going to sneak in there and get 2 hits off and finish off that mortar. So at this point in the battle, guys, I'm really just focused on defending against that mortar. But we're almost into overtime here, and so we're going to be super aggressive. We're going to use the baby dragon as well as the Hog Rider. Now watch this. We're going to use that zap spell, stun all those troops for just a quick second, allowing our Hog Rider to go in and get a hit off on that tower, and also allowing the baby dragon to finish off most of those barbarians, which is actually pretty important because that means the barbs won't be able to defend that mortar. So right here, we're trying desperately to prevent that mortar from attacking our tower because we are in overtime. Now right here, he makes a big mistake. He uses the arrows on those minions, so I'm going to be super aggressive and going with the Hog Rider as well as the minion horde. Now he made a mistake with the arrows, but that kind of counters the mistake I made earlier in battle with the cannon placement. So right here, Hog Rider's going in with the minion horde. They're going to be able to go in there and actually finish off this tower in a couple of seconds here, because we're being super aggressive. We're going to use that zap spell to stun that tower for a quick second, allowing the Hog Rider to finish it off and giving us the 1 crown victory, guys. Anyways, let's go ahead here and try and fit in 1 live battle, guys. Now we do have a couple of chests to open up here, so let's go ahead and open those quickly before we do this battle. Let's see what we can get from this free chest. Nothing too crazy. We have 1 more free chest to open up here. 4 cards. We might actually get an epic or a legendary here, guys. Hog Rider, that's pretty cool. What else do we have? Royal Giant, and finally, is it an epic or a legendary? Let's see. It is the Witch, so unfortunately, not a legendary. I kind of got my hopes up there, but I'll take the Witch anyways. Let's go ahead to this bottom chest here. What do we have? We have some gold. We're going to speed through this here quickly. Fireball and some minions. 33 minions. That got pretty decent there. These are Arena 8 chests, so they do have a little bit more cards in them. And then finally, we got the Valkyrie and the Barb. So let's go ahead, guys, do a live battle here. And hopefully it doesn't turn out terribly like my last live battles did. But we are facing a level 10 here, which kind of sucks. So I'm going to hit him with the crying face and see what he says. He might just ignore me completely. He's going to go in with the Barbs on the left. So we're going to be super aggressive with the Hog Rider and the Spear Goblins and the Minion Horde. Now, how much damage can we get down here on the right? Hopefully a little bit of damage. We're going to use the Minion Horde on the left-hand side to take care of those Barbs. We will be able to take out that tower, guys, on the right-hand side. That was pretty cool. That was an example of an aggressive counter push actually working. So we're going to use the Goblins to take care of that Musketeer, and then the Cannon to take out that Princess. Now he's going to go in with another Musketeer, but unfortunately for him, she won't do too much damage to my tower because she was pretty weak there. So at this point in the battle, we're only a minute in. We have a 1 crown lead so far, so not looking too bad. We're going to use the Baby Dragon there, as well as the Zap spell here. Stun him for a second, and then use some Spear Goblins to take care of that Princess, hopefully. Now, probably over time, he will get that left-hand tower down, so I do have to probably go in and get 1 more tower, or at least go for the 3 crown victory against this. So let's see what we can do here. He's going to come in with the Ice Wizard. Is he going to support it with any troops? He is not, so we're going to use the Goblins behind it to take it out. But he is getting chip damage over time on that tower, so we are going to probably have to take out that tower on the left-hand side here soon. We're going to go in with the Minion Horde as well as the Baby Dragon. Now I'm betting he has his Princess ready to take care of this Minion Horde. If he doesn't, we might try and use the Zap spell. He drops the Minion Horde, so we're going to zap that and take him out. And what's he going to do next? He's probably going to drop that Princess right at the bridge, I would assume. If he does, we have our cannon ready. No, he uses the barbs, so we're gonna use a cannon to distract that with some spear goblins. And if he drops his princess, we're gonna use a mini Pekka to take care of that musketeer. Now one more hit, guys, on that tower, and it's pretty much dead. So we are gonna have to play a little bit aggressively here, or a fog ball. So that kind of sucks. So what can we do to come back from this game, guys? Let's use the zap spell here, take those out. Use the spear goblins here to take that out. We're gonna play super aggressively with the mini Pekka. Then we're gonna go away with the Hog Rider from an angle here, and then some goblins. We have our zap spell available. We're gonna zap those minions, and hopefully be able to take care of that tower. We might actually take it out, or we might not. We're gonna be super close at anything. 130 health left, guys, on that tower. All we need is to sneak in with one more Hog Rider to take that tower out. We're going to use a minion horde to distract here, and then sneak in a Hog Rider, hopefully in the back. Use some goblins there. He uses the free spell, but we will get the 1 crown victory, guys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's going to do it. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. So I'm back. I forgot that 2 crown victory was able to get us this crown chest here. So let's quickly open this before we finish the video. We got some gold, gems, and some mortar, barbs, bomber, and the goblin hut. Alright, guys. That's going to do it for this video, finally. We are sitting at 3,100 trophies using this deck. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time.
We'll be right back.